Good morning, everybody.
Good morning, everybody.
Welcome to episode 45 of the LegacyKnitz podcast. My name is Chelsea.
My name is Sue.
I'm the daughter.
I'm the mother.
Actually, did you see, I forget where it was, but somebody caught us. We didn't say it last time.
I know, I read that and then I thought, boy, I thought we said it.
We didn't. They were
Oh, well.
So thank you for I can't remember off the top of my head, but whoever said that, thank you, because it made me remember. I am coming to you from Burlington, Vermont.
Vernon, Connecticut. Freezing.
So cold. So cold.
So cold.
We were just talking about how Mom and I were talking before we started recording that we have small businesses around us that are closing because their pipes are frozen.
And I'm sitting in my office, which is jets off the back of the house because it was a deck. And in this weather, I have the heat set at the highest possible and it's freezing. I have this on my lap. I am in love with this blanket. It's staying in my office forever. It still has all the ends.
I was just going to ask you that. I didn't know that.
All the ends, but it's done and it is so cozy on my lap.
It's so beautiful. I love the edging too.
I love the edging. I've been working on the other one a little bit, actually a lot this week. And I'm starting a corner to corner, maybe today. I say this every day, and Andy gave me the okay. I can go ahead with it.
I mean, you're finishing them. It's not like you have 3 that are like just started.
No. She forgot I finished this one, so she was like, she gives me the look, like, and she's like, okay, you can start. So I got her blessing.
I feel like Andy and I are the same when it comes with you casting on new projects. And then remember when you used to not spin and buy fiber?
I spun this week. Not on the sweater spin, which I'm supposed to be spinning on, and I'm going to.
Yeah.
Again, I hate podcasting on Sundays, and the reason is I get in my head of everything I want to do for the day. Like, just as I said that, I'm like, I'm going to spin today. I'm going to say that about everything we talk about, and I'm going to do nothing.
You're going to finish a sock.
I know. I'm going to finish a sock, and I'm going to make dinner. I am dying today.
What do we want to do? Should we just jump right into the knitting?
I think we should because honestly, I have a lot to show. I feel like you have a lot to show between finished, working on. We are not people that show a lot of acquisitions. And today, for us, there's a lot. I noticed you did get a few things.
I did. I got something in the mail. I went to Must Love Yarn. I met Kristen there this past week, and there were 2 skeins that I just could not live without. And yeah, so yes, I did do a little bit of purchasing, which is, like you said, not very like me, but I've been knitting down my stash so much. I'm looking over there because I'm looking at my stash. That I'm getting a little nervous that when I have another project that I want to cast on, I'm not going to have what I need.
I know. We are not stash people, but can I tell you how envious I am of the fact that you have Must Love Yarn? I talk about it every episode. Must Love Yarn and Nito. I feel like I would be a regular in both of those shops constantly. Between the people that work in both those shops, who I love both, they're just amazing. I feel like I know the Must Love Yarn girls a little more because we spent time with them at Rhinebeck, and I'm so envious of that. Like, literally, we do have a little shop. It's lovely, but I'm not super connected to it, so I feel like I'm shopless.
I know. That's why, like, when you come up here, you need to make sure you have a list. So that way we can really, because I think we almost always hit both shops when you come up.
We do, because I feel like I want to be in both of them equally.
Yeah.
Which, again, I've talked about this. It's amazing in such a small area. You can have 2 yarn shops that have their own uniqueness, where you can't wait to be in either one. And both of them bring something totally different to the table in a sense.
Yep. Yeah, I could easily go to Nito, buy this isn't a dream world if I had all the money in the world.
Yeah.
All of the things that I want and still go to Must Love Yarn and have a completely different shopping cart that I could buy.
Absolutely. And can I tell you how much I'm craving sewing right now? And I'm not a sewer. So I'm craving something that I know nothing about. But if it kills me, I'm going to make that Holly Burn skirt.
And I'm going to join you. Whenever you commit,
Yes.
I will also commit to it.
And we are going to use KT, the lovely KT of Inside.
Number
223. I always want to say 123. Her tutorial, because I started watching it and she made me feel like I can do that.
She's amazing like that. She's amazing.
I know.
But she definitely like makes you feel like, okay.
She just broke it down so beautifully. I'm going to do it and I'm going to wear it at Rhinebeck.
Me too. Can that be our goal for Rhinebeck?
It's so in my head. It is my goal.
I'll join you.
And I want crazy gorgeous fabric. I don't know what I want. It probably won't even. The problem with sewing with me, here we go, we're on a tangent, is I love dresses, but I don't wear them because I know what style ideally in my head I would love to wear, but I really don't have the body type for the style that I want to wear. You have the body type for the style I want to wear. But looking at that Holly Burn skirt, I think that is something that I would enjoy wearing and owning. Mm-hmm. We're making it.
I think that would be awesome. Yeah, I kind of like you. Like, I love the idea of knitting. My goodness, sewing a dress, but it's just not really like. Oh, bye. It's not something that I would put on every day. I'm not really a dress person.
Which is so funny because you would not wear pants at all. You only wore dresses until at least first grade.
Really?
You had dresses on every single day. And it was cracking me up because you were a girly girl and I was so like, what do I do with a girly girl?
Look at me now.
I know. You still are in a sense.
I am. And I do like dresses. Like, I just bought 3 dresses from either the Gap or Old Navy. I can't remember. They're very like casual, like they're jersey dresses. They're not like. So yeah, my style, like I love wearing dresses and skirts because it means I don't have to wear pants. But the style of dresses that I've seen made, I love and are beautiful, and I would wear them to like a formal party or like a wedding. But for me, I just feel a little too dressed up in those styles. But that being said, I'm sure there are more simple, basic dress patterns out there that I could make and love and wear every day.
Anyways, so my gosh, I've been watching you knitting up a storm.
So much knitting, yes. I mean, and it has been, let me turn my phone off. It has been about 3 weeks since we did our last podcast, which has been amazing because I think it's given us both a lot of time to finish things up, start new things.
Yeah, I was telling Chelsea earlier, I am obsessed with getting all the straggling socks off my needles. Because the ones I'm finding are like, oh my gosh, I didn't know I had that. Mm-hmm. I do think I will come upon some that I will frog, that I know I won't use. I really don't think there's a whole lot left that need to be done.
That's amazing. I think I have, besides the pairs that I'll show you today, because I just started and finished these ones, but I think I have 2 or 3 pairs that are in this kind of the same situation as you're talking about.
Yeah, and I'm going to have empty needles everywhere, which I should put in a place.
You need to have you seen, I have one of those Filofax. I'll put like a video or a picture or something. I think they're called Filofaxes, where there's like a cover and then an elastic thing that wraps around.
Yep.
And I keep them all, so I labeled them like 1s and 2s, 3s and 4s, 5s and 6s, and I like wrap them up and I tuck them in there. It's so easy.
Darn it, I need you in my life.
Yes, I can.
You know my drawer of needles? I'm not kidding, I'm throwing them all out.
Finally, I told you to do that.
Oh, that's right. Because it's terrible. They're Addy Turbos, which were my favorite, but if I thought they were good, like I will go through them because I do have someone that said, don't throw them out. I will take them all. Because I feel like the cords are messed up. They were not properly taken care of. Haya's Chowgu and my signatures I'm in love with, which I do have a pair of socks on my signatures that I've lost. Roby.
Thank you so much.
Oh, you're being weird. Anyway, so let's talk about what we've worked on.
So these are my 2 at a time socks that I just finished. I'm really close to the camera today.
They are adorable. The color is, because I know what the color is, I've seen it in real life, is perfect.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. How it's portraying on the...
Yeah, it's coming across just perfect.
Yes. And so this yarn is by CHELSEAKNITZ is the dyer. It's our good friend Connie. Hi, Connie.
Who's finally back from her summer home.
Yes. I have another skein of hers up there that I've been trying to figure out what I want to do with.
I have two, and I've never used her yarn, and that will be one that I will cast on once my needles are all clear.
Her yarn is amazing to work with. You will love it.
Gorgeous.
And this colorway is called Neon Diva. This was gifted to me by Connie at Rhinebeck this past year because she was one of our housemates, and I freaking love Connie. I could go on a 15-minute tangent about her, but...
I know. She's an amazing knitter, too.
Yeah, amazing.
Amazing.
And she was actually the one that helped her, and Deb helped me, Debbie Reese of half of the Periscoping Sisters, her and Amy. They helped me cast on my first 2 at a time socks. And they taught me, they kind of showed me the way and taught me some tips and tricks. And yeah.
And this was your first toe up?
Yeah, my first toe up as well. So it was a lot of firsts came with this knit. I ended up doing a fish lips kiss heel because the heel flap and gusset was just a little bit too much for my brain to process and kind of do with the 2 at a time and the same and the needles. And so...
Plus those were your knitting on the go socks, it felt like. And that is well, I should speak for myself. That is I need a pattern to follow. It's not difficult, but I don't know it by heart by any means.
Are you saying the fish lips or the heel and the gusset?
Well, for me, both, but I was talking heel and gusset. But I know fish lips for you is like my drop heel with a gusset.
Yeah. Yep.
It's your go-to.
Yeah. So overall, how did I feel about 2 at a time socks? I would say I really liked working on them. Sometimes they felt a little cumbersome and it kept me from picking them up when I normally would have if I was dying to knit a sock. But that being said, I loved finishing the knit and having a pair of socks. So
I've got to try it.
I definitely recommend, if anybody hasn't tried it, definitely it's worth it. Like, see, and I'm not saying I'll never cast another pair on because I want to, like, soon, and try it cuff down this time.
I think that's what I would do, cuff down. Just because, again, that's the natural way my brain flows. I love toe up, but that is just mindless knitting for me, cuff down.
Totally. And I totally agree. Like, I feel like that will, I don't know, it'll be just a totally new, different experience than this, which I loved. Will I be knitting all of my socks 2 at a time? Most certainly not. But it's a fun thing to have on your needle so that you have that really satisfying completion.
I feel like that's such a common thought process for so many people. Then there are those people that would do it no other way. But I think a lot of people feel the way you feel in watching other podcasts and listening to what they say about it. I talk about it all the time, yet I haven't done it yet.
It's great. I would definitely recommend it. Definitely give it a try. And I made these short socks because the boots that I wear only go to like right above my ankle bone, and I wear those every day. So these are shorties, so it'll fit perfectly with the boot, and the cuff is a little bit shorter. You can see
it's between the yarn, everything. They're adorable.
Thank you. And I knit these with size US1 needles, Chow Goose with a 40-inch cord. I think I got. I'm gonna say 60 stitches.
I want to say you were doing 60.
I think so. It was either 60 or... No, it was definitely...
56. Yeah, I would say 56 or 60, but 60 is ringing a bell with me. I love them.
Thank you. So that's my first finished object.
Okay. Because I have so many socks and I put 2 different ones on 2 different sock blankers or blanks, I will show you the 2. So I finished these 2 pairs. So this is our Kirk. And this is a Hermione's Everyday. Oh my gosh. I love this pattern. I love what it does with speckled yarns. I really do. I think these would have looked great plain vanilla, but it's just that little extra that I love.
I totally.
I just love the Hermione's every day. I feel like, honestly, I always want a pair on my needles. The only thing is I always need vanilla socks for movie knitting, and I don't go that often. And we went yesterday, and the funny part is I do really well for about the first hour, and then I get like, shoot, I think I dropped a stitch. So I put it away. And then I get to the car and I realize I hadn't. Isn't that funny? It's like, oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Okay. So then I also finished this. So these both were pairs. These, which is my white birch fiber Artz socks. I love them. I love them. I have the same yarn, but with a gray background.
You do?
I do. I bought I bought so much at the New England Fiber Festival of their yarn. I just fell in love with it because I love striped yarn. I love striped yarn. I love knitting with it. Now, it's funny how this one, I was able to finagle the heel, so it was just the rainbow, and I loved it. This one, not so much, and I could have, but I didn't want to fuss. So this one is just a tad bit different, where 1 or 2 stripes. I love them.
They're perfect.
I do not like matching socks typically. I know some people, Nicole was out knitting on her stripey knit picks, and somebody was like, the other one's not going to match. That would make me crazy. And I love that piece.
Nicole, my cousin?
Yes.
I'm actually, that doesn't drive her crazy.
I thought it would bother her, and not at all, because I do think, and that's just how some people are, they like it a certain way. I agree. I was thinking, I would have put her as wanting them to be the same. It's fine either way. I just enjoy variety. Okay.
They're beautiful.
I love them. So proof, in case nobody believes me.
They're so pretty.
Love them. Such a sense of accomplishment. I would say they're going to go in my box of socks, or I'm going to enter them in all those amazing KALs going on right now for socks, but...
Mom, do it. Candace is doing her Stripey Socks KAL, and that's the next, that's not the next thing I'm going to show because it's not finished, but you can
I don't think I finished these during that time. I don't know when it was.
It goes until March 31st. It started, but I don't know if you had to, I think you might have had to cast on but I don't know when it started, so check.
Might be March 1st. I could still do a pair. It's not out of the realm of doing them. I'm the worst.
For some reason, her Stripey Socks KAL is always one, because I think this is the second year that she's doing it, and it's always one that motivates me to go and buy self-striping yarn and cast on. Like, I don't know what it is, but I love that knit along that she hosts.
I'm always watching it. I'm terrible at posting. But I will put these in a separate area for next year's sock wearing. I won't wear them now.
Okay, so I will show my next finished object. So these 2 finished objects, I had every intention of actually weaving in the ends and blocking and showing you a beautiful thing today, but I got derailed. We'll talk about that in a few minutes.
I cannot believe you have become a product knitter.
And the thing is, I really don't wear my knitwear enough. Like, I don't wear it that often. Why?
I know. So you're not wearing all the shawls you make?
I do. I definitely do. But the thing is, I have like the 2 or 3 that I have in my rotation right now. But all of these new ones that I've been finishing, I have not, these ones aren't completely done yet, but I have 4 beautiful shawls over here that need ends woven in and to be blocked. Like, beautiful.
I know. You will.
You
should have brought them home with you last weekend.
I thought of that and like totally forgot the day before. And then I couldn't even find it. Like my party on my needles I wanted to bring so that I could get that really pretty picot, like all of them really perfect. Couldn't find it. The shawl lost in the apartment.
I understand completely.
So
This is amazing.
Thank you.
Do you really think I'm watching people? I honestly think you don't need to block that.
So I'll tell you why I feel like I do. And maybe,
Oh my gosh, that is so stunningly gorgeous.
thank you. The reason I really want to block mine is because my lace is not perfect. Therefore, it's puckering a little bit more than I think it would if I had done it perfectly. And two, I did make mine, I think I talked about this last time, I made mine accidentally a little bit smaller than the original pattern called for. So I want that growth a little bit.
Yeah. As I said that, I remembered that.
Yeah, but however, I do agree that like with some people not blocking it, some of them that I've seen, they totally don't need it.
They don't need it because they're gigantic.
They're huge. Even this one is like, here, I can...
Yeah, like how are you going to wear it? That's what I want to see.
Well, I'll probably wear it, honestly, when I'm at work. I wear them a lot because it's cold. I'm right by a lot of windows. I'll wear it like this and just really have it like wrapped up around me.
Yep. You have to get a little stick pin to help you keep it.
I used to have one, but maybe I'll find a new one. But so I do like something like that, and then I make like tuck it in or something.
Yeah.
But like, I don't know. I'm such a bandana.
Me too.
Where like when I'm out and it's cold.
So, oh my gosh, like that is gorgeous.
Thank you. I'll wear it like this.
Actually, the size of yours really works for that look.
I got a lot of great feedback when I posted my finished object photo on Instagram, saying that a lot of people felt that the original pattern was a little too big for their preference.
Yeah.
I do have a Ravelry page that I made for this project, and it's pretty up to date, and I think I put all the details as to like where I ended up starting to decrease when I shouldn't have, for anybody that is...
So you decrease, say, on like the third color instead of the fifth or the whatever the number is.
Yep, that's actually exactly right. So it was in the middle of the third color that I started. So I have my first color, my second color, and then my third color. You can see there, right at the end of the lace, I started decreasing. And then just kept going. And it ended up being almost exactly in the middle.
It makes me want to pull mine out. I haven't worked on mine at all.
It is. I was actually, Jamie texted me last night from Beautiful Mess Yarnworks, and I was chatting with her about, well, life, but then also, like she was saying she was going to go and start picking up hers for the rest of the evening and working on it. And she was saying, I'm getting a little bit bored with it. I hate to say it. And I was like, well, you know what? Honestly, I was starting to feel that way right as I was finishing mine.
Mm-hmm. I think, honestly, how could you not, because of the size of it? But it doesn't speak to what a gorgeous pattern it is. That's just how it is when you're working on a big object. I think you get a little bored because you're ready to move on to something else. That's all.
It's the nature of shawl knitting. It's the nature of sweater knitting. It's just,
mm-hmm.
it is what it is.
It is, but oh my gosh, it's beautiful.
Thank you. So yeah, if anybody is curious about the details, colorways, I think I put like the amount of yarn I ended up having left for each skein in there. That can all be found on my Ravelry page, and my Ravelry user ID is CHELSEAKNITZ, just so, and that'll be at the end of the podcast as well, and down in the down bar.
Thank God we have one responsible member of this committee.
Oh.
I just want to be better at those things, and I'm not. It's just stunning.
Thank you. And do you want to know my absolute favorite part? Is the little yellow at the end.
Mine too, and that's funny because that was one of my I don't want to say mistakes. I was trying out colors. It's so funny because I wasn't super happy with it, and now when I look at it, I love it, and I'm like, I really should bring that colorway out. It's so funny how your reaction changes, and that's why I force myself to walk away all the time when I know, I love it.
Just for anyone that's curious of what the actual skein looks like.
I know, I will bring it out because I do. It's a little close to Logan. No, is it? I can't remember what Logan looks like.
I think you said it was your like play skein when you were trying to figure out what you wanted.
Figure out Logan. Yet I can't remember what I settled on, to be honest with you. It's in the book.
It's nice. It's this beautiful like golden yellow, and like the natural white comes through in these beautiful spots, which lightens it up, and then you get these spots of like beautiful like turquoise.
I do love it.
Yeah, and then there's also brown as well.
Yep.
It reminds me of kind of like a banana a little bit.
I feel like yellow is coming in pretty strong right now. And yellow as a dyer is one of the hardest colors to work with.
It's
the hardest.
It's quickly becoming one of my like favorite go-to colors. Like, wait until you see the rest of my projects. You're going to be like, wow, yellow.
Yeah, I feel like it is. It is kind of getting hotter now. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I also should mention, because I there was a comment on the last, or a question on the last video of who said, someone was like, what was the pattern that you were talking about where it was the 3rd, 4th ABC color? And I was like, oh my God, I don't think I ever said it. It's the Find Your Fade shawl by Andrea Mowry. It is, I mean, as we were just talking about, it is a super fun knit. It's great for lace knitting. If you're a beginner and you haven't done it before, it's awesome for that. It's great mindless garter in between. You get to stash bust.
I love the fact that it's just when you get bored with the garter, you get to be a little challenged by the lace. And challenge just means it's really not that challenging. Like, I wouldn't want to scare people away, but it's just mixes it up. Yeah. I think she actually is a brilliant designer. I love her designs.
Yeah, it kind of like turns your brain on a little bit, whereas you can go garter, 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 and then you're like, okay, I have to think a little bit now.
Yep. And I like that about a design. I really do. I don't like to have to concentrate 100%, but I like that.
Same here. Same here. So that was my second finished object. Would you like to do? Those are.
If you notice, I don't believe in weaving in ends anymore.
Me neither.
So these are just my little. I will wear these now. Once I weave in the ends, I'll bring them upstairs. They're just like cozy little, almost like slipper socks, because they're pretty heavy. They're done with our Suki DK weight. I did 56 stitches. I believe I used size 4 needles. And it's funny because I'm like, oh, they look really big. They're not. They're perfect. They're perfect. Again, though, it is really interesting how that looks like a decent sized cuff, but when you put it on, it's pretty small. So I almost wish I went about another inch, which would have been about 3 inches. I think that's a good amount for like a shorty sock. I love them. I think they're adorable. One skein of our DK, and okay, this must have been on Periscope. I feel like I'm repeating myself. This much left. So there was enough in one skein, which was, honestly, I can't remember. So it would be totally irresponsible to tell you, but one skein.
Put it on.
Yeah, and I feel like I could have easily gotten another inch. Or if you had bigger feet, like I have an average size foot, 7.5. Yeah, I enjoyed this knit so much.
They're beautiful.
Super fast. I mean, I honestly could do a pair in a day. If I really had a solid knitting day, I could do it in a day. So that's that.
Those are so super cute. You make me want to knit bed socks.
I love them. I just think they're fun, easy. I think they're a great gift. Just a great little. I do that for my friends who are not big sock knitters or sock wearers. Like just a little something cozy at night.
Yeah.
Who doesn't love that? That you made in like 5 minutes.
I think it was 4 days. So this one definitely needs blocking because I know it's going to grow much bigger. Again, the yellow.
The yellow is gorgeous. It's like soft banana yellow. That edging. Now, is that Kemper's pattern?
Yes, it is. So this is the Color Field shawl by Kemper, who has the Junk Yarn podcast. I'm sure you guys are familiar with them. And her patterns are just...
Her patterns are great. I have bought her sock I haven't made them just because I haven't made them, but I love her patterns.
The bigger.
I love the edging on that. That rib is brilliant.
Yeah, the actual process for that rib is so much fun.
I've made scarves out of that, and I would never have thought to put that on the edge of a shawl, and I absolutely love it.
So you can see, yeah, it was so much fun to make. You can see it. It almost looks like from afar you're doing just like a 2x2 rib or something like that, but it's not. It's this beautiful this beautiful moment where like the knit stitch pops out.
It also gives it more texture, doesn't it? It makes it like more ridgy. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I have to say, you were like, oh, I don't know about the yellow stripes. Remember that? I think that border, my opinion is, oh my gosh, don't use a speckled on that border because you don't want to lose that distinct look. Yeah. It's gorgeous. I love, love, love it.
Thank you. Yeah, I was very torn. I kind of wanted to make this a one color shawl because, well, first let me talk about the yarn. So this is Primrose Yarn Company. Her yarn, I got this at Rhinebeck. And this is...
I think Vogue Knitting Live, no?
Nope, Rhinebeck.
Rhinebeck. I was thinking Vogue Knitting.
She didn't have a booth. Oh, but she was with Do You Knit?
Yes. And I thought we got some there.
We did, but I got fingering weight from her.
I love it.
A different colorway. But anyway, so this is the Dream Warrior colorway, the speckled with like the mint base. And then the yellow is called Lemongrass. And
it's beautiful.
Thank you. And I do have a project page again for this one. So if you want further details, definitely head over there and you'll see them all. Another one of my favorite parts of this shawl, I learned so much on this shawl, which you think like, it's like beautiful, triangular, like DK weight shawl. What could you really learn? So much. First, the border. This was so much fun. I never knew that you could, like, I never knew this even existed, this kind of ribbing. Second, Icelandic bind off. So fun.
I don't even know what it is, but I love it.
I looked up a video, or maybe she had a video linked in there. I can't remember, but look at how stretchy it is.
Love it.
I'm with it like that.
I just love it, and I love your adventuresomeness with yarn because honestly, I would have never put those two yarns together.
Thank you. Do you want to know something funny, actually? So right after I finished this, I clicked on the hashtag, I think it's Colorfield Shawl or something like that on Instagram. And someone had such a similar color palette. Like, it was uncanny. I was like, I don't remember taking that picture. It wasn't mine.
Oh, I love when that happens sometimes with our yarn. I'm like, I thought that was my yarn. It's not.
Yeah.
It's like, oh my gosh, it's so funny.
Yeah. So
I will admit, I would have looked at that pattern and gone, oh, it's really pretty, but I wouldn't have been intrigued by it because I wouldn't have taken the time to look at all those fine details that she put into it. Mm-hmm. And I want to make it.
Well, yes, you should. You should.
I want to.
Everybody should. It's a pay-for pattern, but it is worth every penny. Look at this fun.
That's what I'm looking at, and I can't figure out how you did that. And I don't want you to tell me because it's a pay-for pattern, and I'm going to look it up.
It is so cool. And it's another one, a lot like the Find Your Fade, where you just can't wait to get to the yellow, like your contrasting stripe, and then you can't wait to get to the textured part, and then it's the spine. Yeah. It's everything.
I feel like she's put in so many subtle little things that create, it's gorgeous. Kemper, you go, girl.
Go, girl. Yeah, I'm a huge fan, and I will be definitely buying more of her patterns and knitting them because...
I agree.
So those are all of my finished objects, I believe. So if you have...
Honestly, I'm such a mess here, but I have a half-finished object that I'm super excited about. I brought this to the movies yesterday. I was like, I do not have a vanilla sock. What am I going to do? Because I can't even be at the decrease. And I was just past the decrease. Plain vanilla sock. Do you know what this is made out of?
I do. Is it the Elf sock blank?
Mm-hmm. And I had kind of put it aside because it was more, it was more of a Christmas. I love it. It just makes me laugh. It was more of a Christmas thing. And I thought, well, that's crazy because these to me do not, I mean, they look Christmas, but they don't look Christmas. That's all I can wear them. Not that I'm going to wear them. They're going in my box.
You have to save them.
I have to save them, but I have talked at length about how much I enjoy working on a sock blank, especially at the movie theater. Nothing can go rolling.
And you know how gross those floors are. If a ball of yarn hits those.
Ew. Ugh. So, oh my gosh. So I am going to cast the next one on today because I want to, and I would love to just blow through the cuff so that, again, I have a pair of vanilla socks to work on. I bring my socks to my book clubs. If I have to go to a meeting, I will bring them. So I have so few socks left on the needles right now. So that is a half-finished object. Then, I'm sorry, I'm going to keep going. I found this I did not finish, but I found my sweater weather socks.
Ooh, hold them still. Hang on.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, I love that yarn. Oh my gosh. I actually have my sweater weather right next to me. I can't wait to show you.
Okay. So I found, that's a sin to put a sock away like that. So I may finish this today.
You could finish that in the afternoon.
I know. So, and I want all these needles free. I want them all free. Sadly, the elf one I've got to recast on, so they're not free yet because it's not a second sock, but I'm okay with that. Okay. So can I show you one more thing as long as we're talking sweater weather? Because I think we're done with our finished objects.
Yes.
Okay. So I also have been working on, this is my wow whip of the week, I think. I was trying to think what I worked on a lot. Look at it. I have matching socks. Okay, so Holly Byrne skirt, black leggings, matching socks, matching sweater. So, oh my gosh, I'm in love. I love the Madewell. I always want one on my needles. I'm really flying.
It is so beautiful, Mom.
I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it.
Are you using your signature needles with that? Right?
Mm-hmm.
Let me see.
I love them. I'm seriously obsessed with signature needles. Size 4. So I love them.
Pretty.
I love them. It makes me want to pick this up. So I think I have to go 14 and a half inches. I bet you I have about 4 more inches, maybe a little less, till the rib.
And what size are you knitting? Because I want to knit the same.
Remember, I'm doing like the 3 extra large.
Well, yeah.
I don't know if it's my gauge. I think for you, I might go 2 because I think your gauge is a little looser than mine.
You're right. Yeah.
Because 3 extra large sounds ridiculous for me.
It's not. Like, I tried that sweater on and it would be something I would pick up and wear out in public and not look ridiculous.
No, it's just big and cozy. I wanted cozy. I didn't want tight fitting. I'm not sure how long I want to make it. I didn't want it super long, but I don't want it super short.
How long was your first one? Where did it fall on you?
I can't remember. I think I did the full 14 and a half inches. I think that's the correct. I am doing every other. I'm working with 2 balls at once. On the sleeves, I probably won't. I would encourage you to. I love everything about it. I'm obsessed with it.
This is actually, I'm so, because I have this sitting right next to me. But I don't know if I want to make a Madewell or if I want to go with the Granito by Joji Locatelli, which is a similar, like a fingering weight, kind of a flowy sweater, but it's a pullover and not a cardigan. And there are a couple of pockets on the side.
Oh, I've been dying to make a pullover with fingering weight, which I kind of am in my one that I'm spinning and knitting. which is ridiculous.
Amazing to be able to say that.
So, I don't know. You really have to think about it because I love throwing on a cardigan.
I know, me too. And I don't have any that I love throwing on.
I know. Oh, the needles.
So this is how they come for anybody.
I can't believe you haven't had to cast. Like, I cast on the second I got them.
I am trying so hard to have self-control, and I really want to finish my shelter first. But I don't know. Every day I get closer and closer to casting on. They're amazing.
I want every size, and I really feel like my goal, because yes, they're pricey, but I don't know if it's me. I don't think they're unreasonably pricey. I think you're getting what you're paying for. They're amazing.
I also think it depends on how much knitting you do. Like if you don't knit a lot, like if knitting is really just you pick it up every other week for an hour, like maybe not worth spending.
Yeah. And what I keep telling people is if you're a big time, like we all have our favorite size. Oh my goodness, so pretty. I think I'm going to dye some this week because there are several people that I had promised some to and I haven't had a chance to dye that I want to get out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh, it's so pretty. I love it.
This is our, I didn't mean to cut you off. I was just
That's okay.
We're talking. This is our Sweater Weather colorway, and this is in our cashmere base, our MCN base.
And I am using the steel toe base, and it does, the MCN, sometimes the colors are just a little bit more vibrant.
Mm-hmm. I would say that's probably true with this colorway as well. Like, look at how vibrant the orange is.
Yeah, you're going to love that.
Yeah. Also, if anybody wants to weigh in on whether I should be knitting a cardigan versus a pullover, throw it in the comments. I'd love to hear your opinion.
So, but for the signature, so what I would say is if you have a needle size that you use, like if you're a shawl knitter and you tend to use number 4s all the time, 4s or 6s, I think are big shawl ones, treat yourself. If you're a sock knitter, treat yourself.
Oh, actually, that is a perfect segue if you're all done.
I am.
So that's a perfect segue into my next work in progress because I joined Candace's Stripey Sock knit along as I was talking about earlier. And so this is the first one that I finished.
Adorable.
Thank you. They're made out of Knit Picks Felici in the Kaleidescope colorway. So I still have another skein here. So you can see there it says the Kaleidescope colorway.
That with your leftover, I love Felici in the scrappy crochet blanket. It's adorable.
Mm-hmm. And so I have started my second sock and
you're flying.
These flew off my needles and I'll tell you why. Because
that's why
I'm using signature needles. It was the perfect segue. So Mom ordered us some more needles, which I was so excited about. And so I just recently started using size US 0s for my socks to try and get them to fit a little bit better on my leg. So
those are weapons.
They are so sharp. When I cast them on when I came home a couple weekends ago, it was like learning to knit with DPNs all over again, truly. Because yarn that would never in a million years split with any other needle, you found yourself constantly splitting. But it was worth every minute of frustration because now I fly. I fly. These are like the fastest needles, and they're wonderful because I think there's some kind of an etching or some kind of something in the center here that is so subtle, but it creates some kind of a drag. This lighting is being funky.
I agree. It's the same with all of them.
Yeah. So I don't.
And it actually makes I almost hear like a sound.
Listen, watch. Oh, of course the dogs are barking.
Oh, I was like, yeah, I hear it.
The neighbor's dogs. It might be too subtle to be able to hear, but it makes this really high pitched.
Yeah, it's like, I feel like, when you go around a crystal glass.
Yes.
That's what it reminds me of. But I will tell the story of those needles because I think it's hysterical. So I go to get them and I got myself 2s and I knew that you really were going towards the 0. So I'm like, well, I'll grab them. and it says 1850. So I hit it and I get to check out. And it was like, now these are outrageously expensive. For some reason, the size zeros are outrageously expensive. The others were not this much. It comes up to 78.50. I'm like, oh, that's really weird. I wonder what happened with the website. Like somehow it changed the number. My point in telling the story is I called them and they are so lovely. A person picks up, if I remember right, I did not have to go through a human being picked up. She was lovely. And I was like, I think there's a problem with your website. I said, because I ordered it and then when I went to check out, it was like 78.50. She said, oh yeah, that's per needle. So I didn't order 5. I only ordered 4. Even for myself, I only ordered 4. But honestly, I knew that is a ridiculous amount of money, but I knew you would love them. I knew you would use them to death. So I ordered them for you. And
yes. And it is honestly like, I will never stop knitting with these. These will always have something on them.
well, and I knew that. And I went back and forth for a day, like, oh my gosh, that's so much money. But in my heart, I was like, I know you're going to use them. I know you're going to love them. I know they're worth it in that case. So, but that isn't typical of all their needles. For some reason, those teeny tiny ones. And honestly, they should be registered weapons and you should have a tetanus shot if you're using them.
Do you know how it's 100% true? It's hilarious, but it's so true. Because there are so many times now where like I'll be knitting on these socks and then I'll put them down really quickly and Romo will jump on the chair and my heart stops every time because I'm like, oh my God, where's the other needle? Where is like,
yeah,
I'm so afraid.
Truly.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're not exaggerating. We're not exaggerating.
Yeah.
So I would, like, honestly, if I was a size 0 user, I would spend the money. I think you're proof of that.
They're amazing. They're amazing.
Well,
definitely.
Let's talk about that Progress Keeper. I'm loving it.
Yeah. So that was actually the next thing I was going to talk about. This came from Miss Molly Clatt of A Homespun House.
Miss Molly,
who we always talk about how much we love her because we do.
We do. There's no 2 ways about it.
2 ways about it. So she sent this with I ordered a skein of yarn, which I'll show you guys in acquisitions whenever we talk about that. And she threw this in for me and it was so sweet. And she actually gave me, I'll show you the other one because it's so me. And I chatted her and I was like, how did you know? And she was like, well, I know how much you love breakfast food because I remember seeing your video.
Oh.
I was like, you hit the nail on the head. So it's a little bit hard to see because I have...
It's perfect. Oh my gosh. She's the very, very, very best.
I love it. I was so excited and it was so nice of her. So thank you, Molly. I am obsessed with both of them and...
I love them both. They're perfect.
Yeah. So, and she does sell those in her shop. So if anybody is in the market, good Progress Keepers, I think I have a handful of hers now. And there's some of
they're my favorite. Those really realistic looking little food things. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I love it. It's perfect.
And she partners with Sucre Miniatures as well. And so I know, or Sucre. I never know how to pronounce it.
I don't either, but she's a genius. For a brand new knitter, striped socks, I think, are the best because it keeps you motivated. It just keeps you motivated. No other word for it. It's like, she's like, I'm to a different stripe now. And it's so much fun. And knit picks, you can't beat.
It's, excuse me, so soft. I do not know how they have 25% nylon in this because it is
so soft.
So soft.
So soft.
Oh my, I knit a shawl out of this. And like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, I do love it. It's super fun.
And they were having a sale. Well, I don't know if it's still going on, but they were at one point.
I have a feeling it's gone. It's also great, great, great for gift sock knitting because you can knit a pair of socks for $7, I think. And people love, love, love them. It's perfect. One more sock I'm working on that I'm going to show because I'm really enjoying it. It's a brand new sock pattern for me and it's the Solace. I don't know how good it's going to show up, but I love it. I'm on the heel, but I'm at a different point now, and I'm using our Jessie steel toe, which I'm loving. I really, really want to make a Madewell out of this.
You are just
I know.
a collection of Madewells, and I'm going to be so.
I know, but I think I'm going to try to find another. I may do a pullover for this one. I may, like a big boxy, maybe the boxy. I already have a boxy going. Ooh, one boxy at a time.
He has a V-neck version of that pattern that is so pretty.
Yeah, I would love to, because those to me are, again, they're kind of cardigan-like.
Mm-hmm.
You just throw them on. So I may have to dye myself up a bunch of this, but I love this. I don't know how well you can see that, what that's doing, but I love it. And I'm really enjoying it.
Would you say you have to be super experienced to knit that pattern? No.
No, not at all. Yarn over, no, not yarn overs. Make ones.
Mm-hmm.
I say that I don't think any more experienced than a normal sock. I'm not sure the heel or the I don't know, because this is really the heel, like the drop heel is going to be this. So then you make the actual, I don't know what it's even, I should know, like the cup for your heel that your heel sits in.
Like
it's a little, go ahead.
Heel turn, like when it.
Yeah, like the heel turn. I'm not sure what kind of a gusset it's going to include because I haven't looked at the picture in a while. But I think it's no different than any other sock, really. Maybe a slight bit challenging for the make ones. I love it. Oh my gosh, I love it.
And is it?
I love it.
Is it pay for?
Yes, it is a pay for pattern. I'm pretty sure.
Cool.
Which it's funny because I don't pay for a lot of sock patterns because I have so many. This one I could not wait to own. Could not wait to own.
Yeah, it's really cool looking. And I know Annette too is our friend Annette that we have on Instagram. She's knitting them as well, and they look beautiful.
I love them. I'm super happy with them. I think they're a really smart design. I love them. Love them, love them.
They're beautiful. They're coming out great. And that colorway, I totally agree with you. I want to make a schlanket out of like that and like a dark gray, black, like maybe purple. Like I could do so much with that colorway.
Yeah.
Okay. So my latest sock whip that it's like the first pattern, let's call it, that I've ever knit. And this is the Mercury sock. It's all the rage right now. And I don't know if I just saw it so many times that I was like, I'll give it a try. They're so much fun to knit.
I did the same thing. I wasn't going to give in. I'm like, oh, well, they're pretty. Then I gave in.
Oh,
I love them.
And so when you were talking about your Hermione's Everyday sock earlier, I kind of feel the same way about this pattern, that it kind of adds that little bit extra to a variegated sock yarn where it really makes it pop. Because I had originally cast these on as just vanilla socks, and I didn't dislike it, but it wasn't really thrilling me by any means.
Mm-hmm.
And then I started knitting this pattern with this color, and I was like, oh my God, they are perfect.
They're perfect.
And this is actually another one of, I've been using all of your play skeins lately.
I know.
Another one of your skeins that you were playing around with before you found the Woodland Colors, Woodland Fairy. Woodland Shenanigans colorway. So it's a little more heavy on like the muted reds and the really pretty neutral, and the mint is a little more muted than the ended up being. But I love it.
It looks really great. I should really try to reproduce that colorway.
it makes it just a little more unisex of a color, and I don't want to be too stereotypical, but you know, it doesn't have that really bright turquoise, whereas I feel like I could knit Justin a pair of socks like this and he wouldn't, you know, feel like he was wearing anything too feminine.
Yeah, I mean, oh my gosh, I love it. There are definitely men that like manly colors. There's nothing wrong with that.
And there are definitely men that love
crazy. Yeah, crazy.
Both are amazing. I'm just thinking like, you know, the man that I live with, he would probably prefer a color like this. So I'm knitting these. Great pattern. It's a free pattern, Mercury Socks. I
was going to ask you that. I couldn't remember if I paid for it or not.
I believe it was free unless I paid for it. Oh, I will put on the screen whether or not it was paid for, but I believe it's a free pattern.
And the thing that I love about it, it's 2 pattern rows and 2 rest rows, which I love that.
Mm-hmm. It's great.
And, oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was going to say, and as you get going, the pattern is, if I remember right, you can really see it. So you know what you're doing.
Yep. I don't even look at the pattern anymore. I think I got like 2 or 3 pattern repeats in, and now I can just knit it.
Love it.
It's great. It's very intuitive. Like you said, you can read it very well. This is my first really pattern sock that I've ever made.
Which is so funny thinking about it.
No, it's just never my go-to. I never think like I want to be adventurous with socks. They're always my mindless knit.
They are for me too, but I also love a patterned cabled. I was looking at, forgot the name of it, the one I made for Jenny Lone Larch. Remember when she did a Canadian sock knit along? You had to pick like a Canadian pattern or use Canadian yarn. Oh, I haven't worn them yet. They are gorgeous.
Wish I could remember what they look like, but I know what you're talking about.
They're cabled and texture in the cable, and oh, they're gorgeous. I love cables. I'm obsessed with cabling.
I love them when I knit them, but it's never my go-to thing to knit.
Yeah, I love them. I love everything about them.
Mm-hmm. It's a fun process, cabling.
Yeah. And I love when you can read them so you don't have to follow a pattern too closely. That's what I really love.
Definitely. And the end result is so beautiful. I always remember, like, I look back and I'm like, wow, I did that. Like, it looks so magical.
Oh, the stone cutter to this day, and I've been itching to get back to your stone cutter because I loved knitting that sweater. Michelle Wong, I'm pretty sure, I think she's a genius designer. I think her and Nora Gone, who are both cable freaks, like, oh my God, they're so talented.
Yeah.
Yeah, in a great way. Like, they just are obsessed with cables. Everything they do is, and oh my gosh, I'm in awe.
Yeah. Yeah, their patterns always, like, mystify me. I look at them and I'm like, how does anybody pick up a skein of yarn and produce that without a pattern? Like, they're great.
It is interesting. When I was doing a lot of cables and when I was playing around with designing socks, for me, it wasn't hard coming up with it. It was hard documenting it.
Mm-hmm.
Because you can kind of get a rhythm going. And I remember designing a few. I did nothing with them. And I was like, whoa. But then I went to knit the second one. I was like, oh, yeah, I don't know. So I give them so much credit for being able to then document it. And they document it well. Their patterns are so great to work with. Yeah. Anyway, I kind of love those two ladies, if you can't tell. They're kind of my idols.
Yeah, they're good ones to have. They're prolific, to say the least.
Yeah.
This is my final sock whip. Magic Loop, Chow Goo. This is the needle that I used for my 2 at a time socks. Mm-hmm. Size 1s, US 1s.
Yes, go.
So
I have not seen this.
I drank gallons of the Stephen West Mystery Knit Along Kool-Aid, and I'm so happy I did. What's
with all those N's?
So it's a design element.
Oh, okay. Because I was like, whoa.
Yeah, so this is the Marled Magic Mystery Knit Along that Stephen West is hosting. He's amazing. I talk about him all the time. Love him to pieces. Watch the music video for the Mystery Knit Along. You can find a link.
Which one is that? Did I see that one?
Spice Girls one?
Yes. What about the cat one?
Cat one is awesome too. Love the cat one. And yeah, oh my gosh. So
only Stephen West can do what he does and be adored. Mm-hmm. Only Stephen West.
Like, I just want to embrace him for a long period of time. I just want to hug him. I love him. I know.
I know.
There's a music video. Before you even look at the knit along, watch the music video. And then, yeah, so there's a Ravelry page for it. I'll try my best to put it all in the show notes, which I'm so bad at doing anyway. But I
Can I tell you this? Clue 2 is coming out today.
today. Oh my!
Somebody said I'm ready for Clue 2 today, and I'm like, already?
Well, okay, but it's been, this clue has been out, I think for a decent amount of time.
So maybe it is a week. Maybe it's been a week.
It might have been because I was late to the game, and anyway, so I fell down the hole yesterday because I was looking through my Instagram feed and I was like, oh, like so many people are doing it. And I've done his mystery knit along before. I haven't loved the final product, but I've always loved the process. So I did it. I committed. I went to the Ravelry group. I signed up. I bought the pattern. I destroyed my yarn stash yesterday, and it was the best decision I ever made.
Besides marrying your husband.
But yes, besides that, that was a great decision as well. It was my best crafting decision I've ever made.
Better.
So this is the first part of Clue 1. I still have a whole second part to Clue 1 that I have to do. But this was in a day.
Oh my gosh.
And so, like Mom was saying, there are a lot of long ends, but it is a design element. And I don't think I'm giving anything away by just saying he has you measure 10 inches below the initial cast on, and then you drag all of your subsequent color change ends down to meet it. So, and it does say, again, I don't think I'm giving anything away pattern-wise, but it does say that this is going to be incorporated later in the design. That being
I feel like I know what's going to happen with that. I'll be curious.
I have no clue, but that being
said, I know.
I already messed up. I said this last night. I was like, literally, it was at the end of the day, and I think I was like down here, and we were all sitting, like it was me, Justin, and Steve. We were all sitting here watching a movie, and I go, I swore, I'm not going to say.
No, never.
I was like, oh my God, I messed up. I messed up because I didn't read the entire pattern. And he says to join your colors on a wrong side row. So these should all be over here. I'm going with it.
I'll go with it. Are you kidding?
If anyone would appreciate me going with a mess up, it would be Stephen West.
Stephen West.
I am going to make this work so hard.
And you know what? Even if it's not like an intricate part of this design element and you're not thrilled with it, you can weave them in.
Yeah, we had the same thought process there. I feel like if I can't make it work, I will make it work in my own way. So
you will. You always do. And it's always like, I'm always like, I get like a little ping in my stomach for you. And then I'm like, why? You always make it work somehow, some way.
I'm going to make it work. I'm going to do it.
Perfect.
So thank you. And so so it's a Marled, which you can tell. I'm not giving anything away there. It's Marled Magic Knit Along. So for this one, I kind of striped. I think you can kind of see the stripes when I hold.
Absolutely. I love it.
And I ran out of this is such a stash buster that you can go through, like, this is the color I'm using right now. All my little minis that I don't have, like, that I've already knit into my blanket or have just been floating around, and you pair it with the steady color, which is...
Yeah, what are you using for that?
This is actually one of my acquisitions from the other day, and it is...
Oh, yeah.
Dubrovnik, and it's Madeline Tosh Twist Light. Dubrovnik is I'll type it out here because you can't really see it through the tape. And it's just a really beautiful navy.
It's gorgeous.
And I would say it has some tonal qualities to it, too. There are some lights and darks. Not very many, but this lighting isn't great. Anyway.
I can definitely see it's a navy. It's gorgeous.
And I'm just really enjoying it because I think it's making all of the other colors really pop.
Absolutely. It's doing... Oh, my gosh. I love it. I love it.
Thank you. And then, so last thing about this, I'll show you, there's another section that I have to do, a seed stitch section, which you can see all of this if you go on to the hashtag. So again, I don't think I'm giving anything away. But there's like a big chunk of seed stitch that I have to do now. And I think I'm going to marl these two together.
Do you think, you know what I'm a little worried about though? You see how in your, yeah, do you think you're going to lose anything in that?
I don't know. It's definitely a thought that I've had. So my other thought is, and I'm just incorporating all of my acquisitions right now. So
It's good.
This is another acquisition from Must Love Yarn. It's the liquid gold colorway, Madeline Tosh Twist Light.
Gorgeous.
I'm obsessed. Yellow.
Gorgeous.
So I'm thinking about this.
Ooh, I think that might be more effective.
And this is another acquisition.
Molly, you're the best.
This is her Sugared Sweeties colorway, which she has had shown on her podcast quite a few times. And every time she brought it up, I was like, oh my God, how I need to buy this. I need it. And so I did. And I'm so happy I did because it's beautiful.
Oh, I have to go over to her shop. I so do not shop. And I have to because I look at these and I die.
So
gorgeous.
This was my option B because I did have that thought, and I feel like I could pair this. I'm almost wondering if in another section I could.
Yes, that's what I was going to say, is put it with the darker, just because I'm afraid you're going to lose that distinct. I think it's going to blend. I always have that same problem.
I totally think you're right.
Although I do think that's a little going to stripe a little, so it's not like huge spots of that.
But still.
I know.
But I think it'll.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that.
And this is Republic of Wool. It's her Delta colorway. I don't know if you can see.
I love Republic of Wool. I have one skein of hers left.
Me too. This is my last one.
Yeah. I love it. I loved the one I used on my socks.
Mm-hmm.
You had a good buying week.
Well, I didn't just buy this, but yes, I did.
That's true. Love it. You want to see what I bought this week?
Yes, I do.
You're going to die. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Really? You're never going to guess what it is. I bought two. One for you and one for me.
Where did you get it?
From Natalie. Remembrance Pottery. I believe if I read it right, it's all hand thrown because she was, again, I'm going to say this wrong. I feel like she was having trouble in the kiln with them. Like, so she had to do it, or maybe the handle is by hand. Look at this. I'm like, nope, yours is still wrapped up tight as a drum. I want to ship it to you, but these came perfect. I was really worried. I'm like, how is she ever going to ship these? She does a great job with shipping. I might wait till I see you. I'm nervous.
I would be fine with that.
I know.
Oh my God, I am so excited.
I need a Jenny the Potter mug. Chip will go nowhere near this.
No, you hide that in your office.
It's in my office. It's not. I will probably start drinking coffee or tea just for this. It's okay. So I saw the picture and I was like, Natalie, I need those because I thought they were cute.
Oh yeah.
There's no words for when it's in your hands. You are seeing nothing compared to when it's in your hands.
I already feel like it's so beautiful. Like
it is. But when you see it in real life, you're not going to even believe how gorgeous it is.
Oh my gosh. I am such a mug person. Thank you so much.
I know. Oh my God.
I know, but still. Like
you bought it for yourself.
This is my big knitting mug that I always consider, and I got this at Connecticut Sheep and Wool or one of the festivals.
I really want to start because my goal is when Jacob moves out that I am going to have all more precious pieces of pottery, and I'm going to get rid of everything I have and go to special pieces. I won't need a lot of them. Again, I have to hold it. I want you to hold it so bad.
I want to hold it too.
Natalie, you're the very, very, very best.
Natalie, you're a goddess. My God.
I know.
Beautiful.
Yeah. Anyways, that was so off topic, but I had to show you. Couldn't wait for one more second.
I'm so excited.
So I got a note from, oh my gosh, hold on. Give me a minute. First of all, I joined Into the World and it came, don't yell.
Wait, what do you mean joined?
Every month I get an Into the World.
Oh my gosh.
It's Zephyr I hope I'm not ruining anyone's surprise. I don't think so. I've had it for about a week.
Um,
Polworth Into the World. I haven't even opened it. Polworth, I don't know. See, this is good for me because I don't know a lot about different fibers. I just spin them and enjoy them.
wow. So those like it's reading muted. Is it like beautiful?
It is muted. It's very muted. I don't know if it's just in here or braid. I don't want to pull it out. I think it's just in there. I think it's stuffed in there beautifully so you can see all the colors. It's very muted. I don't want to say muted.
Yeah, I don't
Like, yeah, no, I know you didn't. It's like taken down a bit. It's almost like a little gray. That's not right either, but muted is a better word. It's gorgeous. I cannot wait. I need more spindles, a lot more spindles because I love spindles. Then we got a note from the yarn. I have to take this out. Darn Yarn. I want to make sure I give you all the right information. Darn Yarn M and Etsy, who wanted to send us a gift for our people. It's a peekaboo. That's what I call it. So that you can see. So this, when we do another knit along, which we don't have any planned right now, but we will. And it's going to go in my prize pack. Adorable.
You know what? That would be really fun. But if we paired that with a skein of Jessie, it would match that bag.
Yes, we will do that. We will do that when we do our next giveaway. Jessie right now is our closest color. Yeah, it'd be gorgeous. You could tuck it in there so you could see it. So she did that, and then she was so generous that she then, I'm sorry, I should have had these closer. I have so much stuff here. She sent us each a large one for our blankets.
Oh.
I know, peekaboo.
Peekaboo. I can see you through it. Those are so cute.
Yep. And then she sent us, oh my goodness, some yarn. If you ever, people would just lose always. Some yarn also for us. And they're mini, so I think we could do socks.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, so thank you, thank you, thank you. What a generous gift. Like, okay, want to see how peekaboo it is?
Oh my gosh. That, and you know what? Like, that is so motivating. Like, I think sometimes when I'll put a project away, like right now I'm struggling with my sheltered sweater because every time I put it in my beautiful bag, which I love, sometimes
you can't see it.
Forget about it because you can't see it. So
I feel like for our blankets, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Okay, I did forget about this acquisition that I did purchase, and this was a real experience for me because we have an Etsy shop and people shop in our shops all the time, and we know how difficult it can be at times to get our yarn. And I am not an Etsy shopper just because I'm not really a shopper, period. It's very rare that I'm like I want stuff. I'm just too lazy. I'm too lazy for an update. I'm too lazy for it all. So then I was like, my great friend Andy.
I know. Oh my gosh.
So I was like, I knew she was making these. Andy and I talk a lot. And I never said I wanted them because I knew she would send them to me and I didn't want her to. And I thought, I'm going to get them when she does an update. My heart was pounding. It was like, and I'm like trying to refresh every second because I wasn't already logged in with PayPal because I don't know how to do that. Okay, so it's a miracle. I was meant to have these. I got them. It was the biggest rush of excitement I've experienced in a very long time. I was like, oh my God, I got them. I think I was talking to you and I'm like, yeah, we were FaceTime and I'm like, I got to go. Andy's update's in 5 minutes and I got to be ready.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. A, that was the excitement of it. But B, look at these.
And tell us what they are.
They are called Blinks. So these are her sock minis. Like this is a blank.
Because it's a full one.
Because it's a full one. A blank has only one portion of the design. I have been dying to podcast just so I could undo these. Because look at how beautifully they're packaged. It is killing me to unpackage, but I'm going to unpackage.
Unpackage.
Because, oh my gosh. So these are all going in my cozy memory blanket. Okay. So I cannot wait. And they're big. Oh my gosh.
Can you even imagine how much work goes into one of those?
I can imagine because I talk to Andy every day.
We do know, but like so much work.
Oh my gosh. So oh my gosh.
Whoa.
There's no words. There are no words.
They have little personalities.
There are no words. Okay. Sorry, I dropped them. That's probably disrespectful. So honestly, for my cozy memory, I'm not going to use, I'd be lucky if I used, these are approximately 20 grams. I know it's impossible to get exactly, but maybe I'll use half at the most.
Yeah, because you have the bigger squares.
Yeah, I think I use about 7 grams.
Yeah.
So we are going to share these. So we each get to have Andy in our blankets.
That makes me so happy.
And I know people are like, oh, I can never knit with them.
Oh.
I can. I'm super excited about knitting with them.
Mm-hmm.
Let's just say it. I'll get more.
Yeah.
But
and take a great picture of them. Like,
yeah.
Great picture.
I want the entire experience. Look at the dots in the background.
That's one of I was actually thinking that with that first one that you picked up. That's one of my favorite things. It adds so much dimension.
That is going to add so much to the actual knitting. I'm so happy they're out of the bag.
Oh my gosh.
They're beautiful. They're beautiful.
I love them so much.
I love them so much. And I love knitting with blanks.
I love that color.
I love them all. So there you go. Oh my gosh, just the feel of them.
I feel like you should name them all before you knit them.
I should. Right. They're beautiful. They're perfect.
Yeah.
I love when she shows you. She'll say, what do you think? I'm like, oh my God, they're perfect. You think so? I'm like,
yes.
I love them. I'm so thrilled to have these to use, though. Honestly, as much as it's going to be sad to not have them to look at, I would rather have the full enjoyment of knitting with them.
I totally agree. Well, and you can look at them as you're knitting on them because
as I'm knitting
in your lap.
Okay, so that came too. We had a good, I don't typically, we are not big buyers. I guess in 3 weeks we buy more.
Yeah, that's true.
But I have nothing in the future that I'm dreaming about buying at this point.
Me neither. I'm actually, I'm knitting so many stash busting things that
I think the shift too is when you dye your own yarn.
Yeah.
It's a shift for your buying, because if I wasn't dyeing yarn, I would want to be buying it. Let's be honest, and then I would be.
Yeah, yeah,
so, yeah. Okay.
Okay. I was not focused at all.
I knew you were.
Is beautiful.
I have turned the corner on being a spindle spinner.
What is that? What is that?
This is Robin's Sit and Spins.
Your tiddly bits.
My tiddly bits. Which I had bought another whole bag thinking I want to spindle spin some, wheel spin. I love spindle spinning. I love it. I feel like now when I come to see you, I would bring my spindle.
Yeah, you should.
I think I've gotten quite good at it.
It looks perfect. Okay, here's a question. Have you knit anything with your hand spun yet?
Well, yeah, but not my spindle, my sweater.
Yeah.
Which I am going to spin on my wheel this week. I need to spin at least another skein this week.
Yeah.
At least. So I am in love with my spindle. I'm in love with the fact that I can, if you, say it was 10 years ago and you guys were at events that I had to be at, I would bring my spindle.
Oh, yeah. So it doesn't take up too much room.
Nope.
As far as when you drop it, it doesn't you don't feel like you're
No, because I do the park and spin. Park and drop, I don't know.
Yes.
where I spin it and then I park it in between my legs, and then I do the drafting. Is that what I call? I know nothing.
Park and draft. I think that's
Park
what.
and draft.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's
There are no words.
Those colors are so fun.
I cannot wait. Now, I think that when I ply it, I will probably ply it on my wheel.
Yeah.
I think. I haven't made that decision yet, but that makes more sense to me.
You ply it on a spindle?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
I don't know how.
Yeah, I just can't picture it. I'm sure.
Yeah. I'm sure I can figure it out. I'm sure I can figure it out, but I think I'm going to do it on my wheel. I think that part I would just want to be,
Yeah.
I don't want to say done with, but I'd want it to be a faster process.
Yes.
I'm not super fast, and I know eventually, I really think I could stop parking it. I think I could just drop spindle. Haven't gotten the rhythm for it, but I think I could. Okay, that's that.
I love it.
I'm in love. I'm in love. I try to leave it out so that I can work on it.
Yes.
Okay. Other thing is frosted pumpkin stitchery. I finally, the other day, I think on Friday, I decided it was not going to be a dye day, and I was going to stitch all day. And I got the first one done.
Oh my gosh.
January is done. February is started and is going to go fast.
That's sparkle fabric?
Yes. It's so freaking sparkly.
I could figure out
the
weirder sparkles.
No, in the sunlight, it literally shimmers. I love it. I'm loving the process.
Yeah.
It's just fun. That's all there is. There's just no two ways about it. It's fun. It's relaxing. I have lost a lot of speed. I have lost a lot of needles this week. I don't know where they are. They just keep falling, and I'm ridiculous, but I'm loving it.
Oh. And do you pick the colors for this, or does it come with the...
It's all charted, and they, on the first of the month, they release the next block. I love it. The only thing I wish is that when you buy it, I wish you would get the initial graph so that you had, because I bought it maybe 2 months prior to when it started. So I wish they had released the initial setup so you could set up all your squares. I think they released that in February along with the first block. I would have loved to have, I don't know if I would have done it. I'm so not good at keeping up, but I would have enjoyed the option of being able to get the entire thing set up.
Outlined.
Yeah, I almost wish month 1 was that, and then you got your block. Again, it's no big deal, but I think I would have felt like I was able to stay on top of it a little more. Now, a lot of people just went right to the block, and maybe they end by doing... I'm brand new to this, so that might be the strategy people use.
Yeah.
I don't know, but really enjoying it.
It's going to be... So, do you have a plan as to where you're going to hang it?
No, I feel like, I don't know. I'm just enjoying the process right now. I think I would do a simple frame.
Yep.
I think I would leave a border of maybe 1 inch around, and then just a simple, beautiful frame. Depending on all the colors, I might pick up a color.
Yeah.
Like a forest green, or I don't know. We'll know when it's done.
Oh, it's beautiful.
I love it. I know if I wasn't doing it, I would be so envious of people that were. So I'm glad. I think I'll do it again next year, to be honest with you. I just think it's fun. I think when I was designing, I had a month-long quilt. I should have brought it in, where each month you got a quilt square, and it was stitched. But it was each month, there was like it could be the log cabin, it could be the flying geese. And within that, you had all different stitches. Like, it wasn't just cross stitch, it was all different. And People really enjoyed it. As a designer, it was a little stressful to get those patterns out every month. I love it. I love stitching. I'm a stitcher at heart. It is my go-to. It really is. I just love it.
It was your first, I feel like it was your first love. You had that whole design business and everything. So that makes sense.
Absolutely. Absolutely. But it's a lot slower than knitting.
Yeah.
The
I know.
whole
I feel like if I were a stitcher, I would really need to like force myself to spend a whole week stitching so that I saw progress. For me personally, just because if I don't see progress, I'm not motivated to keep going.
You can't even imagine when I owned our frame shop and stitch shop together. You can't even imagine the stuff I pumped out.
Oh, I bet. Because could you while you were at work?
That, and I was just so fast.
Yeah.
I was the fastest stitcher in town, like whole pieces. Like Christmas gifts were gigantic pieces for everyone. How did I do that?
How did you give that away?
I don't know. Believe me, I'm not super happy about that. At times it's like, because I really don't have a lot for us. I don't. But a lot of it, the person I stitched most for was Graham, so I will get them all back.
Yeah.
Because her house is full of my stitchery, which I love going and seeing. I do. So yeah. Let's talk update because I am so excited. I think we both are so excited about this update. We have chosen to do
Bates Motel, which I honestly had never really gotten into or like known about. But then you mentioned it, and Justin and I had kind of come to the end of our series television lineup that we typically watched, and we started it, and now I'm where you have been for weeks. I love it. It's such a fun show. The character development is amazing. You grow with the characters. You grow with, like you said, the town, the house, the car. It's so cool. It's a cool series. So if you haven't watched it, that doesn't mean you're not going to enjoy the yarns. You will love them just as much. But definitely a good recommendation for a television show to watch. And it's on Netflix. So
it's on Netflix. The last season, I started watching it because it's on regular TV, and I have been watching it. And it's funny because people are like, oh, scary, scary. Are you finding it funny at times?
Definitely. It's definitely, I think it's very entertaining. And I totally see what you mean, because when we first started watching it, we were like, oh, this is going to be scary. Like the first couple episodes are a little bit tough to get through.
The first one is very tough. I did not enjoy it. I had to power through. It's only one scene. Yep. Other than that, once that one scene is over, honestly, you can almost fast forward through it.
Yeah, because, as long as you just know what happens. But I think, honestly, you could fast forward the whole scene. And then they talk about it. So if it's uncomfortable, like it made me very uncomfortable. But
it made me incredibly uncomfortable. I turned it off. And I was like, shoot, I really want to watch this series. Because I think it was Andy who said, oh my God, it's a great series. You got to watch it. A couple people told me that. And people that I was like, oh yeah, I would trust their judgment on. And I shut it off. I was like, I can't watch this. There's no way. I know where this is going. And then I turned it back on, shut it off again. So then I did the like one eye, like looking away and one eye on, and my hand on the clicker so I could just boom it off. Mm-hmm. Power through. It's worth it.
Or once you see it starting to happen, fast forward. Watch it, watch it go fast, and then you can restart it. Like there's no, you have to see it.
Yeah, I agree. I love the show.
A great show. I knew when you were telling me to keep going that it would end up being one of my favorites, and I'm so excited. So
we decided this had to be our next update. I cannot get away from themed updates. They're just fun. They help me as an artist to zero in on things a lot. And it helps me. Like, I love that you became engaged in the show because I always need your input of okay, what do I do with this? This is what I'm thinking, but I need this and blah, blah, blah. Okay. And I love the names. I love the names. I'm dropping things. And I love, again, the collaboration between you, me, and Andy with names.
Love.
And Andy's not good at names, just like me. But I think she nailed one of them.
Okay.
Okay. Mother's Home.
So, and you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to put pictures so that people have references if you don't watch the show. That is beautiful. So we're seeing some forest greens, some really dark chocolate browns with
Browns.
Some coming through.
Yeah. This to me depicts the house on the hill. That traditional picture of the house on the hill. Mother's home. Get it? Like Mother's Home and Mother's Home. Sorry. They should see that. Okay. Then, oh my gosh. Again, I am so in love with these for the edgy. They're very masculine. Yet, I want something with this. Norman Bates. Norman Bates.
Showing these all on different bases, or what are we looking at?
This is a cashmere base.
I had a feeling.
This is the steel toes base.
Perfect.
Just so you can see, because cashmere does take a little different, and that was even the difference in this one. Cashmere takes it a little different.
You get a little more of a bright white instead of muted.
Yep. I love them both, to be honest with you. I love them both. So, Norman. To me, this screams Norman. I always see him in dark colors inside the house. Like, he almost blends in with the dinginess.
Oh my gosh, the biggest part of the show, which I haven't mentioned yet, there's some beautiful knitwear. Beautiful.
Yes, I remember thinking that too. Okay. This is Bates Motel for the sign. So this was you. This was all you. You nailed this one.
So you've got some soft gray. We've got a soft gray base with some bright pops of blue. And I think you mentioned there being a little bit of red in there, speckled.
Yep. There's some periwinkle, there's some blue, and there's every once in a while you get some speckles of red that bleed off. And I love that piece of it.
Oh, yeah, there you go. Yep.
Yeah. Okay, so this is Bates Motel. I'm saving my favorites for last. Actually, I shouldn't say that because those are my favorites. Okay. Norma Jean.
This one I cannot wait to get my hands on. So,
yes, because, go ahead.
So Norma Jean is the mother, which is not giving anything away. And she has this beautiful 50s housewife aesthetic with her clothes, with her hair, with her makeup, with her action. She's always cooking.
And she's got that dress on.
Yes.
50s, like, it makes me want to go buy a dress and start making breakfast for everyone.
Yes. And she's always wearing an apron. She's always strapping a beautiful handmade apron on. It's so, yeah.
Her character is so fantastic that you want to play her. Like, literally, I'm like, I'm going to can this summer.
Yes.
And I'm going to buy one of those dresses to do it in.
Yes, yes.
Okay, this is my favorite as far as the theme of it all. Becoming mother.
And we can't talk about what this means, but if you watch the show, you'll know.
You'll know.
Yeah.
This originally, I was like, nope, doesn't work. And then I woke up the next morning and looked at it and scanned it. It couldn't be more becoming mother.
Mm-hmm. So we've got that beautiful light baby blue with, are those chocolate brown, like
chocolate browns?
Brown, very tonal. That looks like it's in our sparkle base?
Yes. So they're all on different bases. I did have I think 6 or 8 skeins of glitzy, which is the gold sparkle. So on my Periscope, people were like, I want to see Mother's Home on glitzy, which is this one. So I have a couple on glitzy. I have a couple Norma Becoming Mother and a couple Norma Jeans. And then I will order more and do them because they lend beautifully. I have forgotten about our Stellina-based yarns and haven't been dyeing them. I don't know if I got out of the Christmas season and thought, but for this collection, it really lends. It really does. So there are also, you can see them all in a mini set. Can you? Yeah, I already packaged them.
I would turn the logos upside down.
Oh, the logo's upside down. So there they are. I have them in the Stellina and the normal. I think there's 10 and 10. I'm not sure if I'll do more this week. Probably not this week. But here we go. Here's the whole collection. This one, the way it's twisted, shows a little more orangey, but there's also the blues and yellows and greens in there. Mm-hmm. And then there we are.
So yeah, it's definitely an edgy, like a little more masculine if you're looking for, gift knitting for a man, or if you are a male knitter, like I think it'll lend itself well to that.
I do too. So not only will the yarns be there, but watch the show.
Watch the show.
So yeah, one other thing I wanted to mention, I've mentioned a lot on Periscope with our updates. I feel like a lot of people, if they don't go on within 5 minutes, think they missed it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I would encourage you not to feel that way, because sometimes they're gone, sometimes they're not. The last time they were there for, I forgot how long, but a decent amount of time. So, and the reason I say it is because that's what I do with updates. I think, oh, darn it, I missed it. And I don't even bother to go look. Mm-hmm. So don't feel that way. They're not always gone that quickly. We have hanger-oners. So don't be discouraged if you don't get there in the first 5 minutes.
Well, we missed the most important part of this update. Update is when it will be.
Oh, yeah. Whatever.
Doesn't matter. You guys will figure it out.
Just figure it out.
So the next update is going to be this upcoming Saturday, March 11th at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I will put that on the screen and in the bar. You'll be able to find it. And I always like to tell people, to be able to find our shop the easiest way, I would say go to www.LegacyKnitz.com and hit the shop tab. You'll be directly connected to our Etsy shop. Or if you're on a mobile device, go to our Instagram account, Legacy Fiber Arts. And there's a direct link, again, directly to our shop.
Honestly, what I've been doing, like I know for Andy's, I Google all the words, like Legacy Fiber Arts Etsy. It'll bring you right there. If you can't remember everything else, I just love that search engine. Just boom, you're there. Yep. I don't know why, and it's a common thing, is it's difficult to search within Etsy. I'm not sure what that's about, but everybody says it.
Their search function is not great. It is not great.
Yeah.
Well, and also I also put it in our show notes down below. Like there's always a link to our shop down there. So you can always come to one of our episodes and click on it too.
Perfect.
So anyway, yes, you have to get to the butcher. I have got to get knitting and maybe have a little breakfast. And okay, well then thank you guys so much. I didn't say this at the beginning. For any returning viewers, thank you so much for coming back and spending time with us. For anybody new that's just checking us out, hopefully you made it this far, and if you did and enjoy it, please head down and give us a thumbs up or subscribe. We're pretty standardly a bi-weekly podcast. This time we went a little bit longer just because life got in the way, and that happens. But yeah, we love spending time with you when we are able, and thank you to everybody that supports us and sends us love. We love you right back. So, thank you. So that being said, we're going to wish you a needles up and happy knitting, and hopefully we will see you in a couple of weeks.
Bye, guys.
Everybody.